With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 16 more on that one and another first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3's in. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for it, both inside and on the perimeter.
Here we go. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Burrow.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
A great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Here we go. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And some room to work. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. Here's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Here we go. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Mixing up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that'll be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that, that end with a turnover, That's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
The drive will start with an option going left. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Jackson now. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Now here's Ross. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they go play action now. Burrow. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. So on is the lefty, Kevin Huber, to kick it away for the Bengals here on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles.
He says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Gotta go. Inside handoff to Mixon. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Here we go. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins, taken down at the 47-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to find that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengalsians are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
But I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. Gets around him, and he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
2nd and 6. Jackson, options out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing him here. He's at the 40, 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Bengals. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll wind up picking up about 4, as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
And the Bengals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
They find some open field here.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the gun to give to Mixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41.
I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated.
And he loses the football the second time, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores in order to come back and win this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Another run here with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 101 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens use the short field to get in for 6. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
A draw play for Mixon. Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. Mixon running wide side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Not an easy spot here. We'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there.
Jackson and Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
And a good catch there by Mark Andrews. And many think that paired with Lamar Jackson, they may be the best quarterback-tight end combo this side of Mahomes and Kelsey.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
On 1, right?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go.
On the delay, it's Mixon. And oh my goodness, he loses it again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28.
111 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead.
And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line.
On second down, here's the option.
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's out right at the 25. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. They're leading the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful. And now they have to deal with second and very long. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On third down, here's Dobbins.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Boy, that was pretty. Sidestepping defenders on his way to a pickup of 9 yards. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Jackson's throw brought in here by Bateman.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. And he fires Fires one, but incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. He hit his first, this one from 38. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that stretches the lead to 27. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Burrow looking to pass. He'll let this go for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, Al, because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly,